Siddharthan, is it fine now? Yeah, good evening, Nandini. Welcome to the course. Those who not joined last week, kindly go through the first week's lecture. Uh, Let us wait for 5 more minutes for others to join. Thank you. Later? அப்படியா? No headphone தரியா? Headphone problem. Headphone எடுத்துட்டு வா. அதை ஆஃப் பண்ணிடவா? ஆ? நீ ஆன் பண்ணிருக்க டிரான்ஸ்கிரிப்ட். Ma'am, is it fine now? I have disconnected my headphone. Yeah, thank you so much. நடுவில் ஏதாவது பிரச்சனைனா சொல்லு, ஏதாவது ஹெட்ஃபோன் போட்டுக்கோ. வெளில போனால் ஹெட்ஃபோன் போட்டுக்கோ, ஏதாவது பிரச்சனைனா சொல்லு. மீட்டிங்கில் மீட்டிங்கில் ஃபோனில் ஏதாவது ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோ. Good evening, everyone. Let's wait till 6:05. 2 more minutes. Thank you. sharing my screen. Hope the screen is visible. Yes. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So today, welcome all to the week 2 session of NPTEL assignment solving session. Um, so those who are new today, I'll introduce myself. I am Saravanan, a PhD scholar and Prime Minister Research Fellow at Department of Civil Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. So, a small background about me. So I have done my BTech in civil engineering from Government College of Engineering, Bodi, and I have joined the ME in Environmental Engineering through GATE 2019 score, and I have joined in NIT Tiruchirappalli in 2021, and I have submitted my research proposal for the government funding Prime Minister Research Fellow, and I am now a Prime Minister Research Fellow and getting a scholarship of 70,000 per month, and it will increase up to 80,000. And I have some incentives such as 2 lakh contingency per annum, and some of the PMRF eligible institutes in India or all the IITs, and only NIT is NIT Trichy that is eligible for PMRF fellowship, and I am one of the PMRF scholar in NIT Trichy. And you can also go through the website pmrf.in, and as a deliverable we are required to take at least 1 hour of teaching in other institutes. So as a part of this I am taking NPTEL assignment solving session for the course plastic waste management. That's all about me. So here this session will be in the framed such as like we have to first see all the PPT that already sir explained in the weekly lectures, and then we are going to solve the old assignments, that is 2020 and 22 assignments. Then further you can able to solve the weekly assignment given in the Swayam portal. Okay, so that's what our plan is. If you have any doubt in between the session, you can hand raise or you can post it in the comment box. Yeah, hope the screen is visible to you. So I'll continue with my lecture. Sorry for that. Yeah, those who not attended last week lecture, you can also go through the lecture material in the Swayam portal at the end of the fifth lecture material, and you can see the 2 hours video in that. I have uploaded the material also in the portal, so you can go through the Google Sheets and you can find the YouTube link as well as the material, this PPT material. Okay, so this is the second week. So last week we have discussed about what is plastic and how the plastic products are formed, different methods to form plastic, and how the plastic production scenario in India as well as globally we had seen. Today we are going to discuss about what is plastic waste and plastic waste protection and global and Indian statistics on global plastic waste. That's what we are going to see this week material. Yeah. So as all of you know what is solid waste, right? So plastic waste comes under the category solid waste. So we have different classifications in solid waste. First as a definition of solid waste, it is a non-liquid or non-soluble material ranging from the municipal garbage to industrial waste. So we have a different classifications such as paper, biological waste, e-waste. In that, plastic waste is one of the category. Then material, glass, ceramic, as well as medical waste. So this is the category. You can see the pie chart. So organic comprises maximum portion of the municipal solid waste. So followed by paper 17% and plastic 10%. This is as per 2012 report. But as per the latest report, the plastic waste generation is doubled from 2012. So we can say it as a 20%. So now organic was reduced and most of the waste was covered by plastic, maybe up to 20%. Followed by glass 5%, metal 4%, and others as 18%. So this chart is based on volume composition, weight percentage. That's why the organic comprises lots of percentage. If you are going comparing in volume basis, then plastic will accommodate up to 50% of total municipal solid waste composition. On a per capita solid waste generation, per capita means per person how much waste is generated. That is per capita solid waste generation. That is ranges from
Excuse me.
point.
It is twice, as you told. Now the waste generation is twice than that of 2012 data.
Yeah.
That means it is for each category. Paper here it is written 17%. That means it is now 17 into 2. We can
No, no,
consider in
no.
this way.
No, ma'am. Like I'm not talking about the quantity. It's about the percentage. So if one percentage
Yes.
increases, others should decrease. So what I have mentioned is plastic waste generation is increased. That means others should decrease. Some other
Okay.
things should decrease.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope you are clear. Yeah. Okay. So the per capita solid waste generation ranges from 0.25 to 2.5 kg per day. It is global scenario. Yeah, this is as per global scenario. If you consider Indian scenario, it is about 0.65 kg per capita per day. This is as per CPHEO report given by Government of India. 0.25 we can say for rural areas, that is mostly undeveloped areas. Highly urbanized area we can say 2.5 kg per capita per day. This is the daily waste production per person. So why we have more waste generation in highly urbanized area? If anywhere development increases, the waste generation will also getting increased. That's what we are getting this range from 0.25 to 2.5 kg per day. Yeah. So coming to plastic waste, that is a category of solid waste. Plastic waste is the accumulation of plastic objects in the earth environment. Why? What's the problem with this accumulation of plastic objects? It will adversely affect the wildlife habitat as well as the humans. So plastic we can categorize plastic waste can be categorized based on their size as micro, meso, and macro debris. Because this is the waste, so we can say micro, meso, and macro debris. So plastic waste is a biologically inert material. It won't undergo any biological degradation. Like if we throw some food waste in the garden, it will undergo biological degradation and the volume will reduce by time. But if we throw any plastic material in the garden, it won't undergo any biological degradation. Instead of, it will go off into disintegration. That is, the particle size will reduce, like it will divide into different fragments and the particle size will get reduced, but the total volume or total mass of the plastic waste will remain constant. That's why it's biologically inert. The main disadvantages is that in the plastic waste is it will take more time to decompose. More time in the sense average of 500 years. Last week also we have discussed the maximum of 1000 years it will take to degrade. I have uploaded one reading material in the Excel sheet. How much time different plastic product will take to degrade. So on an average, we can take 500 years for plastic to degrade. So this pie chart describes about the plastic waste composition in different sectors. So major contribution is from packaging sector. 63 percentage of waste was produced from packaging alone. So we can say like all the products, like if you order something in Amazon or Flipkart or any delivery, we'll have some plastic packaging. So most of the plastic waste comes from packaging alone, followed by building and construction industries. So most of the buildings we will use PVC, as we had discussed in the last week. PVC is the major plastic used in the building sectors and constructions. Then automotive, we have seen one diagram of car from rear to front to back. We can see all the parts contains plastics, followed by WEEE, that is waste electrical and electronic equipments like fridge, TV, washing machine, whatever. If you throw as waste, when it was discarded, the plastic constituent in the equipment need to be properly segregated. Otherwise, it will end up in non-recyclable plastic waste in the environment. Followed by housewares, agriculture, and others, furnitures and all, we are using plastics. Okay. So what are the different sources of plastic waste? We have discussed about what is plastic waste. Now different sources of plastic waste is municipal source, industrial and distribution source, and other sources. In municipal, it will constitute about residential. That's what we are using in our home, markets, commercial establishment, hotels and hospitals. Everything comes under municipal source. In distribution and industrial sector, food and chemical industries and packaging, films and all industrial sector sources. Other sources such as automotive, agricultural waste, fishing and shipping. This you have to note down clearly. Fishing and shipping contribute lot of plastic waste getting into the oceans or marine ecosystem, and construction debris and all other sources of plastic waste. So this we can also divide the sources of plastic waste in this manner: municipal, distribution and industrial sources, and other sources. Finally, it will end up into land litter, microbeads, inland water litter, industrial leakage, marine litters. So these are the final what we can say tail end for this plastic waste that is coming out of these three sources. So first one is land litter. Whatever discarded in the urban land or rural land, that is called land litter. What are the microbeads or the small plastic, tiny plastic that is coming out of the personal care products that will end up in the wastewater. Then inland water littering, that is whatever the waste end up in the river or surface water bodies, that are called inland water litters. Then whatever reaching the ocean, that is called marine litter. Then industrial leakage or something that is coming out of the industries. So these are all the tail end for different plastic waste. Then this plastic waste get degraded and fragmented. Finally, the secondary source is the microplastic. This microplastic will end up in the
Excuse me.
fish bodies, and it will again reaches the food chain. Again, the cycle will continue. So these are the primary sources, and finally the secondary sources is the microplastic. So we
So
can,
is there any tertiary source?
yeah, ma'am.
Excuse me. There is primary and secondary source you told. Is there any tertiary source or only primary and secondary source?
No, ma'am. After microplastic, there is no tertiary source, ma'am. Microplastic is the
Okay.
final micro or nano. This is the final product of this plastic waste, ma'am.
Okay. And microbeads, it is a kind of microplastic.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, microbeads are the kind of microplastic that I will discuss in the next slide, ma'am. Yeah. So land. Yeah, sir, Devanand sir, you have raised the hand, I guess. You can unmute, sir, or you can post the questions in the chat box. I will answer. Yeah. So land litter. So land litter is like plastic that is either not collected. If you are dumping, cannot able to unmute. Okay, no problem. You can please post it in the chat box. I will answer later. Yeah. Okay. Plastic that is not collected in the municipal solid waste stream and simply dropped or disposed on the street are called land littering. So it will cause nuisance for aesthetic as well as the environment point of view. So this plastic that is discarded in the streets, transported by wind and into the drainage networks and the rivers, and finally it will then transported to the sea, that is the marine environment. Then microbeads. Microbeads, as I mentioned, that is a tiny pieces of plastic. We can say as a microplastics also that are purposefully manufactured. Why we are using, where it is being used is like cosmetic products, personal care products. If you see like our paste nowadays containing microbeads, some of the makeup cosmetics or facial cleaning products, everything contains this type of microbeads. So that will end up in the wastewater treatment plant, because what the cosmetic we are applying like nail polish and polish remover, everything contains this type of microbeads. Finally it end up into the wastewater and going to the wastewater treatment plant. But our wastewater conventional wastewater treatment plant are not capable of treating this type of emerging contaminants. So these microbead particles are too small to be filtered out of wastewater treatment plant and end up flowing into the ocean or inland water streams or rivers. Finally, where we are discarding our treated effluent into the river or into the marine, somewhere this microbeads also will enter into the water stream. Then finally, inland water litters. Inland water litters is whatever the plastic that is directly littered into the river streams and drains. You can see in the uh, sewers and drains, you can see this type of things in your hometowns. And improper management of collected plastic waste can also lead to inland water bodies through storm drainages. This causes clogging of drains and breeding space for mosquitoes and causes human health hazards. Then industrial leakages. These are the plastic that escaping during the production and transport of products. If you are shipping some products in the ship or like marine transport, during that time if some leakages or some like some discarding happening into the marine, that is also causing it, that's called industrial leakage, contribute to the plastic waste. So thousands of tiny plastic pellets called nodals are made mermaid tears. So you can see how the plastic is produced in the industry. The main raw material is called pellets, that's we called as nodals or mermaid tears. That will be that uh, the unused raw material will end up along with the wastewater from the industry, and it is ending up in the marine or oceans. So that's called industrial leakages. Finally, marine litters. These are deliberately or accidentally released into the sea during shipping and fishing and aquacultures. So you can see some of the fishers who are using fishing plastic fishing nets, and if the net cut off from the ship, they won't take it up again. So it will again end up into the ocean itself. So this type of fishing nets are the main contributor of marine litters. We can in the upcoming slides we are going to see how much percentage of this fishing nets contribute to the plastic waste in the marine. So that all we are going to see, and some of the bottles and food packaging uh, in the beaches what we are using, that also will contribute to the marine litters. So not only the what we are discarding in the ocean will stay there, it will also end up in different oceans. Like if you are discarding something in the Indian Ocean, it won't stay there. It will travel along the world. That's called the center of gyre, or the circular motion, water motion in the oceans. So that will transport all of your plastic waste or material in the ocean along the coastal areas, and it will end up in maybe what you are discarding in India may end up in America also. This type of things are happening due to the circular motion of Earth. So that's called the center of gyres on coastal lines. Okay, this and all are primary sources. We are going to see about the secondary source. Secondary plastics called microplastics that are formed due to breakdown of larger plastic debris. So this breakdown may happen due to physical, biological, chemical or photo degradation of the bigger particles over the course of time, so that are not detectable. If you take a cup of water from a sea, you can find large number of microplastic. Now, research on microplastic and treatment of microplastic in the wastewater and the marine water are blooming nowadays. So this type of breaking down of large particle into much smaller particle is called fragmentation. Okay, so nowadays you can see this microplastic in the ocean or end up in the we are producing salt from the seawater, so we can find this microplastic in the salt also. Finally it's coming to our dinner table. So that's what the consequence, and it's entering into the food chain. Again this cycle continues. Okay, so this is plastic waste flow from land to ocean. This data will describe you how much plastic waste is flowing from the land to the ocean. I'll zoom in here. So if you see, the left side diagram shows you the city. So from there, 0.5 million tons of plastic waste, million tons of plastic waste per annum was released into the oceans. That's land-based, inland. That is called land-based or inland plastic flow from uh, to the ocean. And then land based coastal, from the city also plastic waste is coming into the ocean. From coastal regions, what we are going using in the beach sites or coastal sites, that's all are land based coastal plastic pollution. That's contributing about 9 million tons of plastic waste per annum. Then finally, primary microplastics are 0.95 million tons per annum. That is coming through the wastewater stream, what we are discarding. So this all add up like 9 plus 0.5 plus 0.95, and also some are from the ships, like fishing nets will contribute 1.15 million tons per annum, and shipping litters, what we are using in the ship, what they are discarding, that is also zero point 0.6 million tons of plastic waste per annum. So these are all showing you how much plastic waste which is contributing maximum, that is land based coastal um, is the main contributor for the plastic waste into the ocean. So if you see in the right side, how much plastic is depositing in the sea floor, how much is floating on the ocean surface, how much is ending up in the beach side. So this will show you total how much plastic waste is. 12.2 million tons of plastic waste per annum. In that, 1% is in the ocean surface, 94% depositing at the sea floor, that is reaching the bottom of the sea, and 5% is 5% is reaching the beaches, that is the land area, it's again reaching the land area. From the land it's coming, again 5% is reaching into the land. But if you see the density, 2000 kg per kilometer square. So if you see a coastal area of 1 kilometer square, you can find 2000 kg of plastic. But in ocean surface, if you take 1 kilometer square, you can find 18 kg. Same if you take 1 kilometer square of sea floor, you can find 70 kg. So that's the statistic showing, like we can find more densely packed plastic waste in the beaches or in the coastal regions. That's the statistic shows. This is based
It
on.
is not audible. Will you please repeat the last sentence? It was
Yeah.
not audible.
Can I repeat the right side?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
right side.
So left side we had seen how much waste is entering into the coastal region. In the right side, the same we can see how much waste is finally ending up in sea floor, ocean surface, and coastal regions. That is the beaches. So you can see out of 12.2 million tons, 5% reaching the beaches, 1% reaching the ocean surface, it's floating on the ocean surface, and 94% will sink into the sea floor. And the same that's given in terms of density. If you see 1 kilometer square of sea floor, 70 kg plastic you can identify, and in 1 kilometer square of ocean surface, you can find 18 kg. And same if you see the beaches, 1 kilometer square, you can find 2000 kg. That's more densely packed plastics are there in the coastal regions. Hope it's clear. Huh? Yeah. From microplastic, primary sources are from paints, cosmetics, textiles, cans, this tire also. If you whatever the vehicle tires in the vehicles we are using, that also will due to wear and tear, it will form minute plastic particles that again end up in the coastal region. So this is one of the statistics. Yeah. So this whole week is about the global and the Indian statistics on plastic waste. So we are going to discuss lots of graphs and images here. Here you can see the sources of plastic pollution. As per European Union statistics, lots of plastic were used in packaging, as I mentioned, followed by construction and demolition waste, and then electrical and electronic products, automobiles, agriculture, and others. Sorry for the clarity in the PPT that I got this type of clarity only. So kindly bear with me in clarity. I can read this. This is packaging, followed by construction and demolition, electrical and electronics, automobile, agriculture, and others. Here another one pie chart on Australia, that is again mentioning how much different source of plastic waste, that is beverage litters will constitute more amount of plastic waste, plastic pollution, that is about 33%, followed by plastic bags, that is 1%. Why the plastic bag composition is very less in this pie chart? Because this pie chart is based on weight basis. Plastic bags are made up of low density polyethylene, that is LDPE. The weight is very less, that's why it's constitute only 1%. If you consider in terms of volume basis, this plastic bag litter will constitute maximum up to 50% of total sources of plastic pollution. So followed by cigarette butts, you can see cigarette butts constitute 5% of total littering. Okay. This is another municipal source of plastic waste based on Australian report again, cleanup.org.au. You can also go through this type of reports, like rubbish is the report name. You can search rubbish Australian government report. You can see this graph here. 18%, 18.6, nearly 19% of plastic waste is from chips and confectionery bags. Like what are the chocolates we are using and what are the chips we are buying, that packages that cover littering will constitute about 19%, followed by bottles and caps. The water bottle caps constitutes about 12%, followed by pet bottles, and then retailer bags, like whatever the carry bags we are using, then straw, garbage bags, packaging. Here you can see again cigarette butts are constitute about 1.2%, and this type of pack rings, 6-pack rings, you can see for tea, water packages in supermarkets, you can see 6-pack rings, and others constitute 8.5%. So you can see the major constituent is chips and confectionery bags, followed by bottle caps and pet bottles. This is a good diagram which shows about what are the major river contributing to plastic pollution. So the bigger circle will show you total amount of plastic in the ocean. Okay, so you can how much you can calculate through this circle, small circle. This small circle will show you 100,000 metric tons, that is 1 lakh metric tons. Yeah, 1 lakh metric tons of plastic waste. So you can compare this circle with the total circle, how much it will be. Okay, so other circles are mentioning different rivers, like Indus river will constitute this much of plastic waste, Yellow river constitute this, and High river, Nile river, and green rivers are from Asian rivers, and the blue or violet rivers are African rivers. So you can see the big circle is from Yangtze river in the Asia, that is from China only. So this is the major river contributing, river contributing to the major plastic littering. Okay, yeah, again the same. What are the different river contributing plastic input to the ocean? So here you can see the same Yangtze river in China, which constitute about 3,33,000 tons of plastic waste in the year 2015, followed by Ganges river in India and Bangladesh. So this is the second largest contributor for plastic waste in the oceans, that is the Ganges river. uh, so you can see the statistics. Most of the rivers you can see from China here. Yeah, yeah. This graph shows you global river plastic input continent wise. So Asian rivers contribute 86%. Second largest is Africa. So the smallest one will be Australia Pacific contributes lesser plastic waste littering into the oceans. So Asian rivers are contributing major plastic waste into the oceans, about 86%, which includes maximum from the Indian and Chinese case. Yeah, the same graph in a different format. Top 10 sources of ocean plastic waste. So major is in China, then Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh. This is from Asian source. Here you can see surface plastic mass by ocean basins. How much plastic waste floating at the ocean surface. So totally this much of nearly 3 lakh metric tons of plastic waste is floating on the global oceans, out of which maximum is floating on the northern Pacific. We had seen in the previous slide, major contributor is like China, but the major plastic waste floating, maximum amount of plastic waste floating and northern Pacific. Why? Because the plastic waste won't stay at the same place where it was discarded. It will transport due to gyration motion of ocean, and it will reach different parts. That's what I had told you in the last week also. Go through the Greater Pacific Patch, garbage patch video, and it's in the North Pacific. Yeah, island of, not an island, it's like a continent. That much of plastic waste was floating in the northern Pacific region. You can see that that's 96,400 tons of plastic waste is floating on the ocean surface. Yeah, this was the statistics of Greater Pacific Garbage Patch, GPGB. You can search in the Google. You can get this. Differentiated by plastic use and plastic particle. This diagram was mentioned. So all the particle out of which the color denotes different sizes of particles. So greater than 50 mm is the blue color. So here larger particles are due to plastic lines, ropes, and fishing nets. That constitutes the greater than 50 centimeter plastic particles. So this gray color is 10 to 15 centimeter. That is hard plastic, plastic sheets, and the films. Other plastics are also from this type of littering. So this is one of the video shown by Dr. Dubey sir in the lecture. You can also go through this video, the swim, produced by Discovery Channel, and this shows you how much plastic is floating on the surface. That video you can go through in YouTube, or in the lecture also sir has played that video. So another diagram, this one mentioned about how much plastic waste generation per ton in tons per year. So you can see not discarded, how much plastic waste is produced in China, like greater than 50 million tons in dark green color. So China, North America, most of the North American countries are producing lots of plastic waste. This indicates high income countries typically have well managed waste stream. Therefore, low levels of waste pollution. That also you can see here. Yeah. Highly income countries are producing major plastics. Again, here the same diagram we are expressing per person. If you are dividing by the total population of the country, then you can see North America will contribute larger plastic waste generation per person. You can see 0.5 kg. Because of India and China are having highly populated countries, if you divide the total waste generation, plastic waste generation divided by the population, then it will be very lower, like 0.1 to 0.2 kg per person. Like that we are in the lower level. But if you are seeing in the Northern America scenario, the population is lower, and if you and the plastic waste generation is also higher. If you divide higher by lower, then you will getting a higher value of 0.5 kg. Yeah. The same in worldwide scenario. The greater the circle diameter, it will denotes how much plastic is produced. You can see in New Zealand, here one good concept was you can observe. Australia diameter in the Australia is lesser than New Zealand. Why? Because tourism is more. New Zealand is relying on the tourism only. So there is lots of tourism promoted in New Zealand, and many people are visiting every year. And the littering is also more in that country. But While considering the population, they are only considering their native population. That's why the waste generation is higher, but population is level in this case. Okay, another diagram which mentions about global primary plastic waste generation. Like the same different sector, how much it's contributing. You can see from 1950 to 2015, 65 years data, packaging, always packaging contributes the major amount, followed by transportation, building, electrical and electronics. So here every year you can see plastic waste packaging contributes to the major amount of plastic waste. Then which type of polymer is higher? You can see LDPE and HDPE are the major constituent in the plastic waste, generated plastic waste. This is the polymer type. The graph was plotted from 1950 to 2015. Yeah. This graph will denote you the left y-axis will give you the per capita plastic generation, and x-axis will denote the GDP of each country. You can see here India is here. Like I mentioned, the per capita waste generation is very lower. That's why it's in the lower bottom. And our GDP also not lower income country and not higher income country. It's a middle. So India is here. Like China is also here. This red are from Asian countries. So India and China are here. You can see United States are in the right portion. That is having higher GDP and higher per capita plastic waste generation. So Kuwait you can see more plastic waste generation with more GDP. In the lower bottom, left bottom, you can see lower GDP and lower plastic waste generation. So we have to always be in the right lower end.
The PPP stands for
Sorry,
PPP. In x-axis, it is written PPP stands for per capita something or
GDP per capita, PPP. That's what you are asking, ma'am.
yes, PPP stands for.
No, it's actually we have mentioned that's as a dollar. I'll check that, ma'am. PPP, I don't know. I will check.
Okay,
Actually, this is in dollar
okay,
only, US dollars.
okay.
GDP per capita in US dollars. I will note down, I will check this PPP and let you know, ma'am. So the optimum side is like we have to be in the right bottom corner with higher GDP and good plastic waste management. Then we will be at the right bottom. So this is another graph mentioning about total waste in the outer circle and the total plastic waste in the inner circle. So both circle denotes you this mining and construction. The total waste is like 61% is from mining, um, like that's the major, and manufacturing 11%. The same if you see for plastic scenario, manufacturing will give you the major 31% and 21 from gas, electricity, water supply, sewage and plastic. That's from EU, European Union scenario. In agriculture, if you see total waste and total plastic waste is in the same percent. So this is another graph. Plastic export to China. That is how much of plastic waste, sorry, not plastic waste, plastic was exported from other countries to China. That is like what we can say like that's only the recycled plastic from other countries to China, because China is in need of uh, more plastic. So because they are having a good plastic manufacturing sectors, so demand for plastic material is more in China, because they are the major producer of plastic products. That's why they are uh, acquiring different recycled plastic waste from other countries. Like top 10 countries that is contributing like totally 7.13 million tons of recycled plastic is exported to China. In that, Hong Kong is the major contributor. 1.78 million tons they are recycling and they are exporting to China. So how much? Yeah, purchasing power parity. Okay. Ma'am, I think PPP in GDP per capita based on purchasing power parity. That I don't know. I will look into it. What is that? Yeah,
Okay.
somebody mentioned in the chat box. Okay. Thank you. Okay, how much plastic waste that China import? The last graph mentioned about how much other countries are exporting to China, but other than that, how much China is importing. You can see this red is from importing, and the gray is how much their domestic plastic waste. So totally, if you see in 2016, about 70 million tons of plastic waste was generated by plastic waste was produced in China, out of which only this type of 7, that's what we had seen in the last graph also, 7.13 million tons, that was from imported plastic waste. Others are their domestic plastic waste, that everything they are recycling for their own plastic manufacturing. So that's what the scenario in China. The same plastic waste generation by industrial sectors. So how much plastic waste by different sectors, like packaging, as I mentioned, it's the major plastic waste generator of about 141 million tons, followed by other sectors. Textiles also nowadays having more plastic usages, and transportation, electrical and electronics, building construction, and industry machineries. This is the plastic waste generators. Yeah. So here we are going to see about mismanaged plastic. So what is mismanaged plastic? That is either littered or inadequately disposed. So that is not formally managed. If 100 kg of waste is produced in a day, out of which 80 kg was collected by the municipality, but other 20 was directly littered into the streets. That's called mismanaged or littered plastic waste. Plastics that is either disposed in the dumps or open or uncontrolled landfills. Maybe collected waste also may end up in the landfill without proper recycling or proper treatment. That is also the mismanaged waste. Whatever collected may also go end up as a mismanaged plastic. So where it does not fully contain, mismanaged waste could eventually enter in the ocean via inland waterways, wastewater outflows, and transported by wind and tides. So global scenario of this mismanaged plastics is like East Asia and Pacific contribute 60% of mismanaged waste, followed by South Asia. So again in the global map, we can see mismanaged waste is more in the Chinese region because they are more nearer to the coastal areas. So most of the mismanaged waste end up in the ocean is from Chinese region and the Asian regions. Here you can see the red marks. That is about 30%. In India, you can see the orange color. 2.5 to 5% of the total plastic waste generated is end up as a mismanaged plastic in India. Yeah. And you can say 50 km of coastal line, that is also called the mismanaged plastic waste. Population within 50 km of the coastal line. That's why India and Chinese people are contributing a lot because we have a larger coastal region in our country. Again, in terms of uh, coastal population and mismanaged plastic waste. So, coastal population is higher in India. You can see this red mark. We have a larger coastal population. Like China and Japan, India are having lots of coastal population, and our mismanaged plastic waste also higher in terms of direct million tons. If you say in terms of per capita, we will be on the lower side. But direct million metric tons compared to the coastal population, it's higher, right hand higher side. So US is here. Yeah, same in terms of GDP per capita. So we are in the lower side and at the middle of the graph. This is in terms of mismanaged plastic. Initially, we had seen about the total plastic waste generation. Yeah, here this is a good diagram indicates how much plastic waste is input into the ocean and what are the types. So yellow color indicates fishing intensity. Okay, and brown color indicates the coastal input, blue color indicates the impervious surface in the watershed, and the gray color indicates the shipping. So shipping happening from all over this Pacific region, and most of the input like the dia indicates how much plastic input. So here you can see in this shipping region we can see lots of plastic input into the ocean. Here also this full area is of having lots of plastic input like in Indian and Chinese scenario. Yeah. So this graph indicates global plastic waste disposal. Initially in 1980s and all, total 100% waste was discarded, but gradually it was reducing, and most of the plastic waste are collected and incinerated, and some part of the collected waste are recycled. That's why in 2015 we can see about 55% of the global plastic waste was discarded, and 20% recycled, 20% incinerated. That's the uh, management practice getting increased by year wise from 1980 to 2015. This graph indicates. So the same if you can see the components. As I mentioned in the first graph, in 1970 you can see 0.64 percentage. This is in percentage. Yeah, this is in percentage. 0.64 percentage is the plastic constituent of total waste. You can see ash and fine earth is 40%, biodegradable 45%. Only 0.64 is the plastic waste. But if you see in 1995 and 2005, the plastic waste percentage is getting increased to 3.2 and 4.8. Then it should decrease some other components. That's why metal and glasses are getting decreased. 0.66 getting decreased to 0.43 and then 0.19. Glass is the same 0.38 to 0.34. That is whatever we are using glass nowadays become plastic products. That's why the plastic components getting increased, other metal and glass components getting decreased. The percentage in the total composition of municipal solid waste in Indian scenario. Yeah. So this is another graph indicating average growth rate of virgin plastic consumption in India. So here the graph is not clear actually. You can see LDPE constitutes a major growth rate. It's attained from 1970 to 2000, a major growth rate for LDPE. This is in now we are seeing about the Indian scenario. Everything this all last four graphs are from Indian scenarios only. So virgin plastic resin in India, like resin, like somebody asked me in the discussion forum, what is resins, what is virgin plastic? These are the raw material used for plastic production. That's the monomer. Added with some of the additives at some temperature and pressure will form um, polymers. That's the plastic. So different virgin plastic and resins composition in India, like maximum is constituted by PP 25%, 20% by PVC followed by LDPE 6% and PS 4%. Others constitute 17%. So the major plastic resin in India is polypropylene 25%. You can see polypropylene in many of the medical equipments, and some of the buckets what we are using is polypropylene, and then major building material is from PVCs. Yeah, again in Indian scenario also similar like global scenario, packaging constitutes the maximum of 42%, followed by construction and then consumer products and others. This is a good graph comparing global and the Indian scenario and UK scenario also. Comparative study of global plastic production with the consumption in India and the UK. So totally you can see the plastic production in center graph indicates the global plastic production that's gradually increasing, but the consumption in India had a hike at 2000, like it was increasing again. It was after implementation of plastic waste management and solid waste management rule in 2000, the plastic consumption got reduced somewhat. Initially it was exponential, now it was somewhat a straight line. Same if you see in the UK scenario, same as a global scenario, the consumption also getting increased. Yes. Uh, the final graph indicates how much waste is generated in the metro cities of India. You can see, I will zoom in. Yeah, the value in red color indicates plastic waste tons per day, and X indicates the percentage of plastic waste in the total municipal solid waste. If you see in Chennai, totally about 430 or 429 metric tons per day of plastic waste is produced. That is about 9.5 percentage of the total municipal solid waste. So, in a total municipal solid waste, about 10% was plastic waste. We can say in Chennai. Same like Delhi and Faridabad, you can see 408 metric tons per day of plastic waste is produced. Like you can see in all the metro cities, the plastic production is waste generation is higher. Same, you can see this is a report given by Times of India. Major plastic waste production state is Maharashtra, like 4,69,000 tons per annum, metric tons per annum of plastic waste produced, followed by Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, UP, and Karnataka. So this is the statistics. Major producer is Maharashtra, followed by Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, UP, Karnataka, and here followed by Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, Punjab, Jharkhand, and Madhya Pradesh. Here you can see 1,50,000 metric tons per annum of plastic waste is produced in Tamil Nadu alone per year. So this is the scenario, and total you can see 15,89,000 metric tons of plastic waste in a year itself. So I think you can this from this you can get a broad idea of how the plastic waste was generated and globally how it was distributed, and in Indian scenario what are the different resins and different plastic sectors contributing to the plastic waste. So this is the broad idea about plastic waste, and we will go into the assignments of week 2. Hope you are okay. Some questions I'll okay. Wait, I'll answer some of the questions in the chat box. Yes. Nanoplastic will not comes under size of plastic waste. Uh, like uh, Nanoplastic will not comes under size of plastic. No, no. We have nanoplastics also. Like macro, meso, micro, or the different classification of plastics based on size. It may also nanoplastics are also nowadays research on nanoplastic also blooming. But types like micro is the lowest type classified as of now. Nanoplastic will okay again the same. Not 50 kilometer. Yeah, CRZ zone. Yeah, correct. 50 kilometer beyond the CRZ zone. What about PET in virgin plastic resin in this scenario? Is there any reason? Refer 50th slide. Yeah, 50th slide. 1 second. Okay, here you are asking about PET. Yeah, that will come under the others 17%. LDPE, PP, and PVC are the major. This is about the consumption, not the plastic waste. Virgin plastic consumption. So here you can see LDPE and HDPE. High density polyethylene, LDPE, PVC, and PP are the major consumptions. This is on weight basis I am talking about. So you can see PET will be in the others, and it is contributing to the lower percentage by weight. Hope it's clear. Ma'am, you can refer the week 1 assignment video. It was already uploaded, ma'am. Last week video was uploaded in the Google Drive. You can see. I will show you. 1 second. So if you go through the Swayam portal, you can see week 1. Here you can see who is lecture material. It was added. Yeah, problem solving here at the end. Problem solving session Jan 2024. Here you can go and you can click this link and you can find the last week assignment solving session for the week 1, ma'am. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the yeah. Can you answer this question? Which category of solid waste has the highest contributor to global solid waste composition as per the World Bank report? Composition. I am talking about the composition. Total municipal solid waste, which will be the major contributor. Paper, plastic, organics, glass.
I guess paper.
No, uh, it's actually organics. I'll show you the graph. This is the graph what we have discussed in the first slide. Global solid waste composition. So here organics is the major composition, like 46% of organics. Paper is 17, glass is actually 15 only. Plastic I said 10% only. Yeah. We will move on to the next question. Which of the following statement is or correct? Plastic can be categorized into micro, meso, or macro debris based on the size. Plastic is biologically inert. The main disadvantage of plastic is the sheer amount of time they take to decompose. All the above. Can you answer this? Post
All
in
the
chat.
above.
Yes. Ma'am, you can post in the chat box, ma'am. Others also posting. Sorry for that. Yes. All the above is correct. Yes. So here you can see waste can be categorized as micro, meso, and macro based on size. It is biologically inert, and main disadvantage is it is taking more time to decompose, an average time of 500 years, maximum of 1000 years also it may go. Yeah. Third question, according to the Inomia consultant firm in the UK, which part of the ocean had the highest density of plastic waste? Like we had seen on diagram, left side denotes how much plastic waste entered into the ocean, and right side indicates how much waste is ending up in sea floor, beaches, and floating on the ocean surface. So which is having higher density? Density in the sense, most of the like, not the percentage they are asking, density they are asking actually. In the how much in the 1 kilometer square, how much plastic waste will be there? Not ocean surface actually. Yeah. The answer is yeah, maybe in the mixed answers. Answer is B, beaches. A, beaches. Okay. So here you can see maybe the image I have to zoom in. Here 2000 kg per kilometer square is in the beaches only. More amount of waste we can find in the beaches. But it is only 5% of the plastic. But even 1 kilometer square, if you take 2000 kg, density is higher. In ocean surface, 1% of the waste, even it is 18 kg per kilometer square. 94% of the waste is in sea floor. Maximum is in sea floor only, but density is lower, 70 kg per kilometer square. So the answer is higher density is in beaches, 2000 kg per kilometer square. Yeah. I'll go to the next question. Which among the following is or are the sources of plastic waste? Commercial establishment, food and chemical industries, agricultural waste, all the above. Yes. Yes. So the answer is all the above. So we have three sources of plastic waste. One is municipal, which includes residential, market, commercial, establishment, hotel and hospitals. Distribution and industrial sector constitutes food and chemical industries, packaging, films. Other sources includes automotive, agricultural, fishing and shipping, construction, debris. So these are the sources. So all the above is the answer. So question 5 is, what is the correct order of plastic waste sources in percentages according to Mudal et al. 2011. So we have different sources like packaging is there, building and construction, housewares, agriculture. This is the correct source, correct percentage order. Yeah, packaging will come first. Yeah, we can eliminate A and C. Packaging, then second one building and construction, agriculture, and households. Yes, it's correct. Okay. So here you can see in the right pie chart. This is from Mudal et al. You can see at the bottom the citation. Each graph was taken from different published reports. So this graph was taken from the literature. Here you can see packages contribute 63, followed by building, then housewares, then agriculture, then housewares. So this is true or false question. Marine litter is human created waste that has been deliberately or accidentally released into a sea or ocean during shipping, fishing, or aquaculture. Is that correct? Marine litters. The definition of marine litter is due to accident release of plastic during shipping, fishing, and aquaculture. Uh, the answer is true. Yes, true. This is the definition of marine litter. You can see marine litter is like human created waste deliberately and accidentally released into the sea or ocean during shipping, fishing, and aquaculture. Or from holiday makers while visiting the beaches, they are also disposing some of the bottles, food packagings on the sand that again was taken by the sea breeze into the ocean. That's all are marine litters only. Okay. So question 7. Per capita solid waste generation ranges from. This is on global basis they are asking. Per capita solid waste generation ranges from 5 to 10 kg per day, 0.25 to 2.5 kg per day, 10 to 15 kg per day, 50 to 20 kg per day. So the answer is yes. So 0.25 to 2.5 kg per day. That you can see 0.25 is in the rural regions and 2.5 will be the highly developed urban regions. That is 2.5 kg per day. That's what you can see from the bottom. Per capita solid waste ranges from 0.25 to 2.5 kg per day. That's a global scenario. As per Indian scenario, can you remember how much will, as per Indian case, per capita waste generation? It's not 6.5 kg, 0.65 kg actually. 6.5 kg per capita per day means it will be higher. So if you can also count the per capita waste generation in your home itself. You can weigh the dustbins every day and you can divide by the number of person in your house. If I have 4 people in my house, that's the inmates, and I am getting 4 kg of waste every day, or you can take an average of a week, 7 days total, or average divided by 4 people, then you can get how much kg of waste per capita per day. So you can get around 0.65 kg per day. 0.65 is the answer for Indian scenario. Okay. Moving on to the eighth question. Which of the following statements are incorrect? Microbeads used in various personal care and cosmetic products like facial cleanser and cosmetics are secondary source of plastic waste. Microbeads particles are too small to be filtered out by wastewater plants and flow into oceans from inland waste water streams and their drains. Then third one is inland water litter can cause clogging of drains and can be breeding space for mosquitoes, causing human health hazards. Poor standards in industrial process are responsible for some plastic moving into the environment. Which are some statements are incorrect. Some are one statement is incorrect maybe. Why? Not C. Water litter can cause clogging of drain. That's correct actually. If you litter something in the water, inland water, that is the sewer lines, if you litter something, plastics, that will clog the drain and it will cause breeding of mosquitoes and it is the reason like human health hazards are to. So no, D also correct. Poor standard in industrial process are responsible for plastic moving into the environment. That is also correct. Sorry, B also correct. Microbead particles are too small to be filtered by the wastewater treatment plant. Answer is actually A. They are asking about incorrect statement. So microbeads are primary. First line is correct actually. It's a cosmetic product, but that is the primary source of plastic waste. Here you can see. Yeah, microbead is the primary source. Microplastic is the secondary source. Yeah. No, no. Ninth slide means what you are talking about. Sorry. Microbeads are not secondary. Sorry, ma'am. Microbeads are primary. They are asking about the incorrect statement. So here it's mentioned as microbeads are secondary source of plastic waste. So that's the incorrect statement. Others are correct. Hope you have answered for correct statements, maybe. So B, C, and D are correct. Devanand, your ninth slide. What's the ninth slide? Yeah, secondary is incorrect. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. I'll move on to the next question. Here you can see microbeads are cosmetic products, like this is correct. Here I told you, inland water litter can cause clogging of drains and can be a breeding space for mosquitoes. This is the inland water littering. Yes. So industries that they mentioned, industries are improper management of industrial waste also the contributor of plastic waste in the oceans. Okay. Moving on to the ninth question. According to the rubbish report, that's the Australian report, which of the following is the correct order of plastic waste proportion in municipal source of plastic waste? Can you say the diagram we had seen? I guess not straws, pet bottles. Is it so? I think PET will come first. PET straw, food bags, cigarette litter. Yeah, that may be the correct. One second, I will check. Yeah, PET is the correct one. Here you can see I told chips pack is the first one. Chips and confectionery bags are the major contributor for plastic waste. Followed by bottle caps, then PET bottles, then retailer bags, then straw. Finally, it was like food bags and the cigarette litters at the end. Okay. Yes. So you can remember this diagram as per the Australian report rubbish. This is for the global scenario. A plastic that either is not collected where waste management facilities are lacking or plastic that is dropped or disposed of on street or in the environment can be termed as. This is the definition for inland water litters, land litter, marine litter and industrial leakage. Waste, waste is not collected or disposed on streets. Yes. Yes. That is land litter. Yeah, that is correct. Land litter is correct. So here you
We
can
will
see.
go to question.
Sorry, ma'am.
After this, we will go to question number 8 again because regarding microbeads, I want to ask something.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, I will go to question 8. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. So, can we say microbeads are primary microplastics?
Not primary microplastic, primary sources of waste here.
Okay. Then we cannot say it is primary microplastic, right?
No,
Okay. Thank you.
primary sources of plastic waste.
Okay.
Did I mention this primary microplastic?
No, actually, means there is a question. That is why I am asking. Is it
Oh, no, ma'am, no,
primary
ma'am.
microplastic or
Microbeads are actually that's also in the form of micro size. So we can say as a primary sources of microplastic. That's we can say. So everything is a primary source for
okay?
microplastic. Microbeads already in the uh, micro form. Yes.
Okay, means it is mentioned microbeads. Whether microbeads are primary microplastics or not. So
No, no,
that
no. There
I
is
want
nothing
to.
called primary microplastic, secondary microplastic.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Uh, yes. So continuing with the 11th question, true or false? High income countries typically have well managed waste stream and therefore low level of plastic pollution to external environment. High income countries or developed countries, we can say, have well managed waste streams and therefore low level of plastic pollution to external environment. True or false question? Hmm, yeah, it's true. Two mixed answers. So true. Actually, high income countries will have proper management system. So they won't litter much amount of plastic waste into the external environment. So here you can see plastic generators are more, but the plastic discarders will be lesser. Maybe the wrong diagram here. This is the plastic waste generation. Generation will be higher in developed countries like US. But if you say the plastic littering, China and India, like developing countries, will litter more because of mismanagement of plastic waste. We can say like there is no much technologies there to um, recycle or manage the plastic waste in developing countries. But in developed countries, they have well developed management system for waste streams. So the answer is true. The process of breaking down large particles into much smaller pieces due to the combined action of physical, biological, chemical, and photo degradation forces over a period of time is termed as for the plastic I am talking about fragmentation, coagulation, weathering, littering. High income country, it's based on GDP. Yes, sir. GDP also, yeah, higher income countries are having more GDP. That's correct only. So the answer here is fragmentation, not weathering. It's fragmentation. Here you can see in the last point, the process of breaking down of large particle into much smaller pieces is called fragmentation over a period of time due to biological and chemical processes or photo degradation also make it happen. Okay. Here you can see which of the following statement are incorrect. Total plastic waste generation by country is typically measured in tons per day. This is a simple question based on the graph. Total waste tons per day. Total plastic waste generation by country represent the quantity of plastic at risk of polluting waterways, rivers and ocean environment. Daily plastic waste generation per person is typically in kg per person per day. The plastic waste generation per person measures the overall per capita plastic waste generation rate prior to waste management, recycling and incineration. So what are the incorrect statement they are asking? The first one is total plastic generation. That's in tons per year. That is correct. Third one, daily plastic waste generation per person. That is kilogram per person per day. That is also correct. The unit is correct. Second one, you can see the total plastic waste generation by country represents the quantity of plastic at risk of polluting waterways, rivers, and ocean environment. That is also correct. The final, so the correct answers are first three. So you can see in this graph, total waste in million tons and total per capita waste is in kg per capita per day, kilogram per person per day. Unit you can see at the top. So 14th one, which region has the highest share of annual global plastic input from rivers into ocean? According to Lebreton et al. 2017. So we had seen that report. Which one is the highest share of annual global input from the rivers into ocean? You can see here Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, Pacific. Highest share of annual global plastic from river to ocean. Yeah, ARC. C. Yes. We had seen lot of river from India and China contributing to the plastic waste into the ocean from rivers. So you can see in this graph, another graph also we had seen lots of rivers from China. Most of the rivers is in Asia, contributing pollution into the ocean. So that Asia is the correct answer, 86%. Second, followed by Africa, and last one is Australia Pacific. So 15th question. Which among the following is the secondary source of plastic waste? Here you can see municipal source, microplastic, distribution and industrial source, marine litter. Secondary source of plastic waste. So the primary source we can say municipal, distribution and industrial sources and other sectors. Yeah. So the secondary source is microplastics. That's correct. Here you can see the secondary source is microplastics. Microplastic itself have primary and secondary. Ah, some um, no. The primary sources may degrade and it will fragmented into smaller particles. That's called microplastics. So microplastic is not a primary. We won't discard anything as micro. That's direct converted into different converted by different sources acted upon it, and it will form a microplastic as a secondary source. Hope it's clear. We'll move on to the next question. Yeah, state whether the following statement is true or false. Yangtze River of China is the highest contributor of plastic waste to the ocean, according to Labrador. Yangtze River. Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's true. So you can see in this graph, Yangtze River is the highest contributor, followed by Ganges River in India. So most of the rivers are from China. That's why Asia is the next major contributor of plastic waste in ocean from rivers. So which of the statements are correct? Correct statement they are asking. Plastic that is either littered or inadequately disposed of is called mismanaged plastic. It is measured as the total mismanaged waste by population within 50 km of coastal line and therefore defined as high risk of entering the oceans. Mismanaged plastic waste could eventually enter the ocean via inland waterways, wastewater outflows and transported by wind or tides. All the above. These are the statement related to mismanaged plastics. Okay, so first one is correct. Whatever either littered or inadequately disposed is called mismanaged plastic. That is correct. So within 550 km of the coastal line, that is entering into the high risk of entering into the ocean are called mismanaged plastic. That is also correct. So some of the mismanaged plastic may enter into the ocean through waterways. That is also correct. So that's all the above. So you can see at the top the definition for mismanaged plastic. In all the last or the 6 to 7 graphs, you can see the mismanaged plastic definition at the caption. So 18th question.
I want to ask something.
Yeah, ma'am.
So related to mismanaged plastic.
Yeah, ma'am.
So can I say mismanaged plastic waste could eventually enter the ocean?
Yeah,
Is
that
it
will
a correct
eventually end up in
statement or
ocean
not?
only.
Okay.
Whatever the mismanaged plastic will finally end up in ocean only, ma'am. Or it will end up in the inland water resources. Finally, again, due to some transport by tides or water outflows, it will reach the ocean.
Okay. Thank you.
there is no other way of way for that, because if it end up in dump sites, that is also uncovered dump sites or unscientific dump sites, again it will enter into the water due to runoff, rainfall runoff, it again enters into the river, then finally into the oceans. Yeah, some are recycled. Recycled plastic are not mismanaged plastic. You can see the definition here. Mismanaged plastic is defined as the plastic that is either littered or inadequately disposed. Inadequately disposed waste is not formally managed. Not formally managed. So, if it is recycled means that is formally managed. Okay. So, 18th question. Identify the correct order for the estimated share of global plastic waste by disposal methods according to Geyer. I have shown you some diagram, how much is discarded, how much is recycled, how much is incinerated. So based on the amount they are asking, which will be higher. So most of the plastic was discarded. So B or C, then recycled or incinerated, which is higher, B or C. The answer is B. So discarded and lots of about 25% incinerated, about 20% recycled. So this is the answer of global plastic waste by disposal. Yeah. According to the World Scientific Publishing Company, the plastic resin had the highest consumption in India. Which plastic has the highest consumption in India in 2014? So we have lots of plastic resins, LDPE, HDPE, PP and PVC, which are having the highest proportion of consumption. About I think 40% I guess, 40 or 36. Not HDPE. I think you can see the graph. PP is the answer. Yes. PP is about 25%. Sorry, 25% consumption of different virgin plastic. Major consumption is PP, followed by PVC, HDPE, then others. That's the statistics. So lowest consumption is PS, 4%. So according to the World Scientific Publishing Report 2014, which component of municipal solid waste has recorded the highest growth rate in weight portion during 1970 to 1995? So we have seen different types of composition of waste in the Indian scenario in municipal solid waste: plastic, glass, paper, and metal. So from 1970, 1995, 2000, we have seen that data. This is having a highest growth rate: plastic, glass, paper, metals. Yes. So the answer is plastic. Yes, correct. So plastic from 1970 to 1995, it got in greatest increasing rate. Again, it was increased in 2005. Metal and glasses got decreased. The rate got decreased year to year. So one question is like difference between resin and polymer type. Both are same. Resin and polymer type both are same. So actually we can say resin is a raw material. Polymer type polymer type is based on what are the monomer used in that. Both are same. I think you have asked the same question in the discussion forum. I have answered clearly with citation in the discussion forum. You can refer. Okay. So again, this is 2020-22. We have finished. This is 2020's assignment 2. Another 15 question we can find it off by 7:45. What is the percentage of plastic in global solid waste composition according to World Bank report? So this we have seen. Wait, no, I have shown the answer again. Sorry, 10%. I have mentioned composition is again organic is 46%, plastic is 10%. It may be doubled. It's again 2012 data, World Bank report data, water waste. So this also you can go and refer some World Bank report water waste. Now water waste 2.0 report also out there in the net. You can refer. Another one report is by National Geography, planet or plastic, or plastic or planet, I guess. That report also you can go through. I have downloaded. I will upload the same in the reading material section, and some of the reading material was uploaded by Dr. Rajesh Kumar Dubey sir. So that also I will refer in the upcoming weeks, and I will show here the keynote points. Okay. So here the answer is plastic 10% of global solid waste composition. Okay. Which among the following comes under municipal source of plastic waste? Municipal source. Food and chemical industries, commercial establishment, construction debris, agricultural waste. Not construction debris is others, not municipal. Not municipal and not building sectors or industrial sectors. No, food and chemical also industry, not municipal. So the answer is commercial establishment. You can see here, municipal is residential, market, commercial, hotels and hospitals. Industrial sector include food and chemical industry, packaging industries. Other sources are agricultural, fishing and shipping, construction debris. So these are the answers. Hope it's clear. I will go to the next question. Which sector is the maximum contributor to plastic waste according to Mudgil? So this we have already seen. Yes, yes. So I'll go. About faster. Packaging is correct. Yes. So here you can see 63% of total plastic waste comes from packaging sector, followed by building and construction. Okay. According to Eunomia Consultant Firm of UK, what is the amount of plastic found on the sea floor? I mean density. They are asking density or amount of plastic found on the sea floor. We are seeing the highest density of 2000 kilogram per kilometer square in the beaches, and some are floating on the ocean surfaces, and some are sinking to the sea floor. The density or the amount of plastic found in the sea floor is 70 kg per kilometer square. You can see, refer this slide. Sea floor contains 70 kg per kilometer square of plastic waste, and ocean surface have 18 kg per kilometer square. That is the amount per kilometer square. And the beaches have highest density 2000 kg per kilometer square. Most major plastic ends up in sea floor 94%, 5% on beaches, 1% in the ocean surface floating. So you can see Greater Pacific Patch itself 1% only. So you can imagine how much 94% that is in the sea floor. How to take out and how to recycle that is the bigger challenge in the future. Thinking of the sustainable goals, lives below the water, lives above the ground. This and all we have to think about the sustainable goals, and we have to think about the whole ecosystem as a one. Yeah. So this is the question 5. What are the small pieces of plastic derived from breakdown of larger plastic debris are called? Microbeads, plastic pellets, scrubbers, microplastics. Yes. This is here like this is microplastic. Answer is microplastics. That's correct. That is ultimately end up in food chain by degradation and the fragmentation. That's called microplastic. Somebody asked me a question: can you compare plastic waste by packaging and textiles, cloths, wash? But textiles not mentioned in the list. Question 3. Oh, yeah, yeah, textile is not in the list. Can you compare plastic waste by packaging and textile? No, global plastic waste composition. Maybe the textile will come under the others. There is no like nothing given in the composition regarding textiles in the global scenario. Yeah, fiber plays a major role. That's what given in the others. Furnitures and all are clubbed together in others, 13%. If we get a, I'll refer the same Mudgal literature and I will get a split up for the others and I will find the percentage of textile in the others and I will let you know in the next lecture. You can also go through the plastic waste in the environment, Mudgal 2011. Refer that. Okay. Moving on to the sixth question. Which of the following has the maximum proportion in the municipal source of plastic waste? Maximum proportion. Straw, chips and confectionery bags, PET bottles, supermarket retail bags. Maximum proportion is from not PET bottles, not PET bottles. Chips, we had seen. Chips and confectionery first. Second one, bottle caps. Third only PET bottles. So that much of we can see some of the chips we are using Lay's or Kurkure and we are littering the things and dairy milk or 5 star like Kit Kat. The covers that are all confectionery bags that we are littering into the open environment. These are all contribute to the major source of plastic waste. Not only littering, whatever coming into the dustbin also the source of plastic waste. So about 80, 19% from the this one only. And then bottles and caps, second one, PET bottles is the third one. Yeah. Which region has the lowest share of annual global plastic input from river to ocean? We had seen major contributor is Asia from river to ocean. The lower contribution is Australia Pacific. Yes, that's correct. D is correct. Australia Pacific, not Austria, Australia Pacific. 0.02. Yeah. Second one is the Africa. This is based on the Times of India report. Uh, Correct order of their plastic waste generation in India according to CPCB. So the first one is Maharashtra, that's given. One is the first one. Second one, all option having first one as first. Okay. Second is the third is Tamil Nadu. The third is Tamil Nadu and the fourth is Karnataka. Yes. Answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's correct. A. 1, 2, 3, 4. The major plastic waste generating state is Maharashtra after 2000. Like, sorry, the year was not mentioned. So Maharashtra producing the major plastic waste in India, followed by Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, UP, and Karnataka. That's the order. Okay. From ninth question, 1970 to 1995, which component of municipal solid waste has recorded the highest growth rate? We have already answered. Yeah, this question, this is not the similar question in the week 2 assignment. Please go through the assignment again. Given in this week 2, same model but different question. You just look into it. The answer is different. I have attended the week 2 assignment today. Yeah. This is why I have already discussed. 1970 to 1995, highest growth rate was for plastics. Yes, as per this report. Okay, 10th question. Which of the following statement is correct? Primary source of plastic waste undergo fragmentation and degradation to form secondary sources. Plastic that acts as a pollutant can be categorized into micro, meso, and macro debris based on size. Plastic waste can be of both aesthetic and environmental nuisance when on land. All the above. These are all about the plastic waste general definitions. Sorry, general characteristics and definitions. Yeah. Hope it's clear. A, B, and what about C? Plastic waste can be both aesthetic and environmentally nuisance when on land. That is also correct. So all the above is correct. Yeah, that's correct. So okay, coming on to the 11th question, the process of breaking down of large particle into much smaller particle is known as fragmentation. Yeah, this is true or false? Say true. This is again repeating question. Fragmentation or degradation? Yeah, correct. So this is another question. Amazon River is the highest contributor of plastic waste to the ocean. Amazon River. Yes. One of the Chinese river is the major contributor. So this is false. So the answer is Yangtze River in China. That's the maximum contributor. Okay. 13th question. Microbead particle can easily be filtered out by wastewater treatment plants. Microbeads can be easily filtered out by wastewater treatment plant. True or false? Not true. Microbeads cannot be easily filtered. It's false. They are seen in the microbeads. Last point you can read. Many of these microbead particles are too small to be filtered out by the wastewater treatment plant. That's why it's end up in the oceans from inland waste streams and drains. You can see these are the microbeads. So answer is false. One of the major disadvantages of plastic is the sheer amount of time they take to decompose. The average of 500 years we have mentioned. That's the disadvantage of plastic. Is that true or false? So the answer is true. Yes, that's correct. So the last point, major disadvantage of plastic is the sheer amount of time they take to decompose. The average plastic takes 500 years to decompose. That's correct. Yes. So the final, I think this is the final question. Yeah. Plastic waste can be transported by wind and rain into drainage network or river that then transport to sea. Is that true or false? Plastic waste can be transported by wind and rain into drainage networks or rivers that then transported to sea. Yeah, that's correct. Finally end up in oceans. That's correct. True. So it's the last point you can read. This item can also be transported by wind. In the land littering, if you litter in the land, it will be finally transported by wind and drainage networks or rivers and they are transported to sea. That's called the marine pollution. You can see. Yes, somebody asked about fragmentation differ from dispersion in terms of plastics. Yeah, fragmentation is uh, it's due to some forces like photo or physical or chemical forces on the plastics. It will reduce in its size or break down into smaller particles. That is called fragmentation. Dispersion is moving of plastic particles from one place to another. That is called dispersion. We have a lot of terms: diffusion, um, dispersion, and then it's a bulk movement, we can say. These are all the different types of movement in the water bodies. You can see some of the, you can refer some of the papers related to modeling of or contaminant transport modeling. This type of papers will give you some ideas about how the plastic waste get transported overall into the ocean bodies. Yeah. Thank you so much for attending the session. Hope you have enjoyed the session. And if anything you want to discuss, kindly post it in the discussion forum, and you can text me through email or WhatsApp. This is my contact details. Thank you so much for joining. You can see this lecture in the YouTube also. I have uploaded the YouTube in my YouTube channel, and I have posted the link in the uh, group assignment solving session in Swayam portal. Thank you so much for joining. You can leave now if you don't have any question. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Please.
Actually, I was trying to find out if there is any examination center other than South India.
Generation. Sorry, sir. I can't get you. Can you please?
Actually, what had happened was that I was trying to search the examination center, because we have to register for the examination within maybe another 10 days or so.
Yeah.
But the list that came in the portal was only in Andhra and Telangana,
No. I have
So-
registered in Tamil Nadu, sir.
No, I want to do it somewhere maybe in other part like Punjab or maybe West Bengal.
Oh, can you please ask that in the discussion for? You can contact the NPTEL team, sir. Actually, I am some technical
Okay, okay, okay. So,
sorry, sir. But I have registered in my hometown. We have lots of centers in Tamil Nadu. You have to first check the state, then you can find the cities, sir. I have registered yesterday.
that should be that it cannot happen that only South India, but somehow I was not able to do it. Anyway, if there is an issue, I will write to NPTEL.
Yeah, please, sir, please.
Okay.
Actually, you can
Thank you
find,
so
sir.
much.
You can click the state first, and all the states are listed, I guess.
Oh, I see. ठीक है, I'll do that. I think
Yeah,
I
you just
chose the
check.
wrong
Otherwise,
selection.
please reach them at NPTEL. They'll surely guide you.
Anyways, Mr. Sarvanan, very nice class otherwise. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Yeah, I'll wind up the session. Thank you.